Hello once again. This is your professor, Danny Araneta Cabulay, for the course Accountancy Research. We are now in week number 4 and this is video lecture number 17. So for this particular lecture, we will be talking about terms of reference. Terms of reference is a very important part of the planning phase and it is usually incorporated in the contract of consultants. The terms of reference is a description of the technical work involved in a project or engagement or part of a project. Kaya pag kayo naging mga CPAs or naging accountants at gagawa kayo ng mga consultancy projects, kailangan merong TOR or Terms of Reference. Specifically, it is used to specify the work required by an external consultant, contractor, or supplier. It is the technical part of bidding documents. Kaya pag merong bidding na magaganap, naghahanap sila ng consultant, ipapabid out nila, maraming consultants ang sasali sa bidding. And kailangan basahin mo muna yung terms of reference kasi yun ang basis kung magkano ang quotation na ibibigay mo sa engager. Okay? The lowest price is not necessarily going to be the winner of the contract. Usually, ang labanan dyan ay quality of proposal rather than price. It is the technical part of this bidding documents, as I said. Typically, a project manager develops a terms of reference which is included within the bidding documents for the vendor and subsequently becomes a part of the contract. Included items in the terms of reference are the scope of work, the schedule, coordination requirements, laws, regulations, and standards, and resources provided. So let's look at this example. For example, ang isang company nagpapagawa ng malaking warehouse kasi they're going to expand and they need to stock up on raw materials. Okay? So this is the warehouse being constructed as you can see in the PowerPoint. Now, let's look at the scope of work. This is derived from the project scope statement and contains two main components, deliverables and task. Ibig sabihin, yung task, yan yung mga gagawin ng contractor o ng consultant o ng accountant. Deliverables, ito yung output, ito yung dapat ipasa sa engager. These are the items or documents or reports or accomplishments that need to be passed to the client. Deliverables are those items the project has been commissioned to produce, which can be tangible, example, products, documents, or reports, or intangibles like services, appearance, advice, or opinion. Tasks pertain to specific work to be performed by a contractor, consultant, auditor, or vendor. Then we have schedule. Schedule refers to the timeline of a project or engagement which is usually shown in a full-blown Gantt chart highlighting important milestones. So meron siyang date at meron siyang bar chart at saka meron siyang mga deadlines. Okay? So in the PowerPoint, you will see a sample of a Gantt chart. Okay? So there are 5 phases, the planning phase, the research phase, design, implementation, and follow-up. So the project starts in January and will end in July. So this is a 7th-month project. And that's an example of a Gantt chart. So para lang siyang bar chart, no, na naka-horizontal ang orientation. Then we have coordination requirements. Yan din ay nakapaloob sa terms of reference. Itong terms of reference, napakahalagang dokumento nito. Projects need to be coordinated with third parties such as suppliers, government agencies, database contractors, monitoring agencies, utility companies, etc. Kaya kung tayo ay gagawa ng isang warehouse, we need to coordinate with the city engineer's office kasi hihingi tayo ng building permit. Okay? Tapos, makikipag-coordinate din tayo sa mga suppliers ng sementos, suppliers ng bakal, suppliers ng kahoy, etc. Yung mga materials na kailangan natin to construct a warehouse. Of course, a warehouse also needs equipment, no? And furnitures and fixtures. So, meron din tayo mga suppliers na kakausapin pagdating dyan. We also need to coordinate with the source of power like Meralco, for example. So kasi magpapakabit ka ng kuryente para sa warehouse, magpapakabit ka rin ng tubig, magpapakabit ka rin ng telepono. So all these utilities companies like Meralco, Maynilad, etc., no, PLDT, for example, you need to coordinate with them. Okay, very important. Then we have laws, regulations, and standards. This pertains to necessary permits and clearances sought from government agencies, compliance to national and local laws such as city ordinances, as well as adherence to specific standards and good business ethics. Example, data privacy, intellectual property rights, exemption certification, government accreditation, etc. Kaya kung halimbawa meron tayong ginagawang isang research tapos confidential yung mga bagay doon, we need to uphold the data privacy law. Okay? So hindi tayo pwede mag-divulge ng information from our sources. Bawal yon. Ngayon, in the case of the warehouse, we need to adhere with the National Building Code, which is a law. Okay? Hindi tayo pwedeng lumabag doon. Meron tayo din tinatawag na fire code, no? So, yan ay ini-implement ng Bureau of Fire and Protection. Kasi baka mamaya yung warehouse, yan ang pagmumulan ng sunog. Okay? So there are laws that we need to follow with regards to fire safety and many other laws that we need to consider when we are putting up a warehouse. So a warehouse is a project, no? You need to research before you put up the warehouse. Okay? Then, resources provided. Ano ba yung mga kailangan natin? Ano yung resources na dapat i-provide ng engager? Ano naman yung resources na dapat i-provide ng consultant o ng supplier? Okay? Dapat malinaw yan sa terms of reference. Kaya kung halimbawa, yung isang hotel, kinukuha ang services ko, gusto nila mag-conduct ako ng training sa kanila. On my end, I will prepare the module. I will prepare the training kit na ipamimigay sa mga attendees. I will prepare the PowerPoint slides. I will bring my assistant with me also. So, bibigyan ko sila ng mga training kits. That is my deliverable. Those are the resources that I need to provide. On the other hand, the hotel that got my services, na magko-conduct daw ako ng training para sa mga managers nila, they have to provide the venue. They have to provide the logistical requirements like the audiovisual equipment. They have to provide also the training supplies like bond paper and stationery kit and ball pens for the participants and whiteboard markers. They have to also provide the laptop or maybe the screen, the projector and screen. Okay? So those are the things that they need to provide. And of course, they have to provide the meals for the participants. If this is a 1-day or a 2-day seminar, then they have to provide all the meals for the participants. So, yun po yung mga resources that need to be provided on both ends, by the consultant and by the engager. Now, let's go to the exercise for this particular video lecture number 17. Okay? So, let's talk about this project by the Office of the Vice President. Who's our Vice President? Maria Leonor Herona Robredo or Lenny Robredo. Yung opisina niya, wala masyadong budget, pero napakadami nilang naitutulong regarding the pandemic. So meron silang bagong project, ang tawag nila ay Vaccine Express. Ito po yung, kung minsan may bus na umiikot, nagbabakuna sila. O kaya meron silang vaccination drive sa mga iba't ibang lugar, umiikot-ikot sila. Okay? So kagaya nitong project na to, ang ambisyon nila ay bakunahan ang 5,000 drivers. Kasi yung mga drivers, these are economic frontliners. Nagtatrabaho sila. Sila yung nagdi-deliver ng ating pagkain, Grab Food, o kaya Food Panda or Lala Move. Sila rin ay namamasada, yung mga tricycle, jeepney at bus drivers. At pati yung mga Grab at saka yung mga taxi drivers natin. Yan. Lahat ng klase ng drivers kasama dito sa programa nito. Pati yung mga nagdi-deliver ng mga gulay galing sa mga probinsya, mga truck drivers, yan, kasama. Basta driver ka, kasama ka dito. 5,000 ang target nilang bakunahan in 1 week. So nakipag-coordinate si Vice President Lenny Robredo, yung kanyang opisina, at sa tanggapan ni Mayor Isko Moreno ng Manila City. Okay? They launched the Vaccine Express project. partnering with the government agencies like the Philippine Army and the Philippine Coast Guard to maintain peace and order sa kanilang vaccine site. Ginawa nila to sa CCP Complex or the Cultural Center of the Philippines Complex na nasa boundary ng Pasay at Manila. Nakipag-partner din sila sa private sector. Ang UB Express, Smart Communications, Sea Oil, Shell Philippines, and many others. Okay? Sabi ko nga, ang goal ay to inoculate or to vaccinate 5,000 drivers at the CCP complex. There were volunteer doctors and nurses who joined the OVP's free teleconsultation services. Ang galing, ano? Kahit na may pandemic, ang daming solusyon na ginagawa. Okay? Vendors of the city of Manila will be next in line. Pagkatapos daw ng mga drivers, yung mga vendors naman daw ang isusunod. So again, this is an ongoing project. So look at the pictures, no? These are all beautiful pictures of this project. Now, here is the question you need to answer for video lecture number 17. Based on this project, I want you to enumerate what could be included in the terms of reference in relation to the agreements with partners of the Office of the Vice President. Kaya pag makikipag-partner sila, ano kaya yung mga bagay na makikita natin sa terms of reference? I want your answers to be specific. Huwag nyo lang kopyahin yung nasa lecture. You have to specify. Okay? It has to be relevant and it has to be directly related to the project. The more specific the answer, the higher the score. Pag generic ang sagot mo, may points ka pero hindi masyado mataas ang magiging grade mo. So try to be very, very specific. Make sure you place your answer in the comment section of the YouTube video. Okay? So I'll see you in video lecture number 18.